It's a Thursday night in Major League Rugby to kick off already week number 9 of the second campaign. The SaberCats welcome to town to Sugar Land, Texas, the Warriors of Utah. First of 2 meetings this regular season between these two squads. Again, welcome back to Constellation Field. Lincoln Rose along with Kit McConico. Kit, we take a look at the table here in Major League Rugby. So much already developing, some early favorites already emerging. Of course, for these two teams, each their lone victory at the expense of Austin, a chance for one of them to claim some valuable points tonight.
That's exactly right, Lincoln. A chance indeed, and a much-needed chance. Neither of these teams has gotten a victory since their first game of the season. They're going to be looking at tonight as an opportunity to relaunch their efforts in 2019.
Speaking about relaunching, the Gold climbed back up to that top spot at the expense of the SaberCats just 7 nights ago right here in Sugar Land. Let's remind you of the 2 other matchups coming up this weekend. One Saturday, one Sunday here in week number 9 of Major League Rugby. 6 teams total in action. The other 3 will have this week off. But again, your leaders, Nola against Austin, while Rooney looking for yet another big win at the expense of Glendale, perhaps on Sunday afternoon. Well, as for our matchup, what needs to happen for Utah to bounce back from their last matchup 2 weeks ago?
Well, for Utah, they had the week off, and it's about coming off that bye week with a fast start. They played the fewest games in the league. That means they have the most time to improve, but they need to start tonight. They need to keep possession. A starve a SaberCats team of possession, especially keeping it away from the dangerous boot of Sam Windsor and cohesion. Utah, the talent all across the pitch, but they haven't been able to organize it this season into a functioning unit.
So Utah's had a week and a half to prepare. Meanwhile, Houston was in action just this past Saturday. How can they bounce back from a tough loss against Nola?
Execution has been a major issue this year for the SaberCats. It will be especially important tonight with 2 key losses in the starting lineup. They need to be physical. They were able to out-muscle a Seattle side. Ultimately, Seattle came away with the victory, but a good performance from Houston. You'd like to see more of that physicality tonight. And the question is, who's going to step up with the absences in the lineup tonight for the SaberCats?
Well, first up, who do you look to step up for the Warriors?
It's going to be the number 8 man, John Cullen. He is absolutely outstanding. A great match against Rugby United New York 2 weeks ago. He destroyed would-be tacklers. 69 meters gained on 6 carries. They're going to be looking for that kind of performance tonight from the big man.
As you alluded to, for the home side, of course, they're without the Fijians. Kalina Sal, as well as Vithi, pick up Reds on Saturday, but always reliable is Mr. Windsor.
And he's going to have to be especially so tonight without the flying Fijian. Sam Windsor, the Rook, the Aussie, he has been the man. He can hit from just about anywhere on the pitch. He's going to have a spectacular outing.
SaberCats and Warriors on a Thursday night in Sugar Land, Texas, coming up next.
Aviva, proudly sponsoring Houston SaberCats Rugby. With over 16,000 customers and 4,400 employees across the globe, we have delivered unrivaled excellence for more than 50 years. In an environment that's increasing in complexity, the one constant is the need for change. Change driven by new demands, by a desire to do things better, by sustaining what you've created. We enable customers to master change, pushing boundaries in a digital world where everything is possible.
Brother on 3. 1, 2, 3. On the floor. Think about all the things you've sacrificed. Think of how far you've come. What we're going to do today to kickstart this brand new league off.
Join us Saturday, April 13th in our first game at the brand new Aviva Stadium. It's ladies' night and all ladies receive a 20% discount on tickets purchased at the box office.
We know athletes because we are athletes. At the Sports Medicine Clinic at the Baylor College of Medicine, we provide top-level care to athletes of all levels in Houston and around the country. As the official healthcare provider of the Houston SaberCats, our doctors and sports medicine healthcare professionals are dedicated to safely enhancing our athletes' performance while promoting recovery and injury prevention. Getting you back on the field, in the game, and ready to roar.
Aviva, proudly sponsoring Houston SaberCats Rugby. With over 16,000 customers and 4,400 employees across the globe, we have delivered unrivaled excellence for more than 50 years. In an environment that's increasing in complexity, the one constant is the need for change. Change driven by new demands, by the desire to do things better, by sustaining what you've created. We enable customers to master change, pushing boundaries in a digital world where everything is possible.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Anglia Homes, Carbach, and Mustang Cat. Take a look at our starting lineups this evening. First up for the visiting Warriors. Again, they had the bye this past week. They're coming off that loss against New York in the snow. We do not anticipate any snowfall here outside of the Houston area. Kit, you take a look at that starting lineup. Main change up front among your forwards and props. Jeremy Lieber will be your hooker this evening.
Indeed. Head coach Alf Daniels making 4 changes since the last match 2 weeks ago. Don Potty gets his debut this year with the team, gaining more returns from international duty. You'll see him at center, and Josh Anderson gets a start on the wing. All guys to keep an eye on for Utah.
Our Elkington not with the squad, became a father earlier today. As we take a look at your starting lineup for the SaberCats, you're down 1 Irishman up front as Sanguinetti gets the start in place of Jamie Deaver. And of course, the most noticeable absences will be among your backs there. Tackett will wear the 13, Kohlberg the 14, as you're without the 2 Fijians serving the suspension after last weekend's red cards.
5 changes made in the starters for the home team. Obviously, VC Colinas out. Huge losses, as is the loss of Santi Arata, the Uruguayan scrum half. He is not in the starting matchday squad either.
As for the reserves for both sides, the men wearing 16 through 23. What stands out to you in terms of the depth?
Well, you look at the 3 reserve changes for Houston. Comtat expected to make his MLR debut of the season. Aaron Schramm, their reserve on the back row. And for the visitors, keep an eye on number 21, Lauti. Always a very impressive back, and expect to see him on in the second half.
Mentioned the Warriors do not have our Elkington to go to here tonight, as he and his wife Ivy welcome their baby girl. I'm sure they're back over at Top Golf in Utah tuning into this one. A little jealous of all of them. Also jealous of the view that our sideline reporter Austin Ivan has tonight. Let's check in with Austin.
The majority of teams would rather play at home versus on the road, but for the Utah Warriors, they're so excited to be playing here in Houston tonight because of the beautiful weather. It's around 70 degrees with very low humidity compared to the freezing rain and temperatures that they had last week for their home game. Talking to some of the players before the game, they said the hardest part about playing in the cold is staying loose. So tonight they're looking forward to keeping up a fast offensive pace and being consistent with it.
Austin, thank you. As you saw Scott Green, his hair conditioned for all conditions.
Best hair in rugby.
It'll even hold up during the humidity come this summer when we're over at Aviva Stadium watching the SaberCats. Looking forward to this one. Scott joined by, again, Gavin McCandless as well as Butch Neuenschwander. Some familiar faces and names around these parts.
Yeah, indeed. A great crew, veteran crew, well-known. Expect
good, mate. Yeah, we're
great
ready to
refereeing
go,
tonight. You look at this matchup for tonight, SaberCats, you've got to give them an edge in the scrum. They're winning 93% of the scrum, just 79% for the Warriors. Lineouts just about even. The Warriors have scored more tries and they've conceded fewer points than the SaberCats.
Well, again, these two teams both trying to bounce back from win. Kit, it was so similar when you go back 2 weeks ago and saw Utah against Rooney, and this last week in Houston against New Orleans. Just too many home runs given up, too many long runs. Just one miscue, one missed tackle springs the opponent wide open.
Indeed, and for Houston, they need to maintain possession. That's when they're at their best, using tactical kicking to their advantage to play within the opponent's territory. They need to get an early lead, minimize the handling errors and the penalties. The Warriors, they're great in the counterattack, accurate kicking. Tim O'Malley, one of the best in the league in penalty goals and conversions. And there is the man who's the best in the league in kicking. Sam Windsor led Major League Rugby last year in points scored and atop the standings in 2019 as well.
Sam has 16 penalty goals this year, including the first 6 points against NOLA the other night before NOLA would rattle off while capturing a try bonus in the first half alone. Both defenses looking to be a tad stingier here tonight. Should be a good matchup here as we welcome you to our Thursday edition of Major League Rugby.
Okay. Yeah, you're fine, mate, you're fine.
The home squad in the all black. The visitors, your Warriors in the red.
Wait here, boys. Just wait, patience. 4.
And quickly back off the boot of your captain, Tim O'Malley. Certainly a New Zealand influence. Our thoughts with their homeland. Tough times back home.
Just hold the ball for me, but
obviously such a pipeline here to Major League Rugby. New Zealand, one of those areas helping feed so much talent here into the States.
Yeah, not just to the States, but the world. There's a reason they're the #1 ranked team in the world and have been for some time. The All Blacks, the most famous national team in the world. A lot of people come to rugby via the New Zealand side. Indeed, our thoughts with our friends down there on the 2 islands.
First set piece early on, it was Diego Magno, your lock, who was the target. Nice dish out wide, your fullback. Angelina. The turnover back just outside the 5-meter line. Back over to Utah, but they'll take it into touch.
Great start there from Houston. That's what you want to see. Moving the ball quickly. Got it out to the fullback, Pangelinen, the former professional soccer player. Great offload. Pangelinen looking to kick himself through. Just couldn't get on the end of it as he was beat to it by Johnny Ika.
Again, Houston was able to strike first for the first 2 scores the other night. Here they are back inside the red zone early on against these Warriors. SaberCats fans must have felt like their boys had one of those invisible fence collars on. They could get within 5 meters, but no closer it seemed. All throughout Saturday night's matchup, that's certainly been a storyline for them at times, having to settle for splitting the sticks with the boot of Windsor. But how about the surge here? Back out to Connor Murphy, your scrum half tonight. And this will go back across the inline.
Yeah, just too much on it. Overcooked that one a bit, did Murphy. You like the idea. These two teams pride themselves on being physical. Houston has gotten more physical as the season has progressed. They're going to be looking to show off that physicality. Utah, always the physical side are the Warriors.
Esdale cuts it back inside. Does he have support? Needs to free that ball up, able to do so. That's your captain, last year's second team All Major League Rugby, Matt Truville. It was a Houston team that never looked deterred despite the uphill battle against New Orleans. As against Nola Gold, still had their confidence throughout the match, even found a late try. You can say the same for Utah, who found a consolation try against Rugby United with a couple of highlight scores near the end to try to build some momentum into their bye week.
Both these teams have the talent. That's not in question. They've had tough results. Sometimes luck just not on their side. But at the point in the season where they can't make excuses anymore, they need the victory. And moreover, maybe the bonus point as well if they can get the 4 tries.
You saw a moment ago there, Pat O'Toole, your hooker, one of the big men from Ireland, in the mold of his head coach, Justin Fitzpatrick.
Have advantage for offside, midfield offside.
There.
Houston playing the advantage after an offside call on the Warriors, playing with house money right now inside the red zone. And they will bring it back, still Houston ball.
Indeed, Houston playing with advantage.
Midfield, you guys, offside. Yep.
Offside against Utah.
If you are mindful of Scott Green letting you know you're playing the advantage, just so many opportunities, some small gambles you can take.
Oh, there are indeed. And you know that worst comes to worst, you're going to be able to bring the tee out and give it to a man who, well, he splits the uprights as good as anyone in Major League Rugby, Sam Windsor.
16 converted penalty goals this year for Windsor. 7 of those were in their lone victory against Austin in the season opener. 1 week later, of course, Utah would travel to Round Rock, Texas and knock off the Elite for their lone victory.
The 30-year-old from New South Wales. Also the backs coach for the SaberCats side. Former Leinster man.
Fly half here from inside the range of the infield fly rule. SaberCats strike first once again to delight the fans here at home.
A couple of your tackles have been marginally high, mate, so just give them below the shoulder.
Exactly what Houston needed. Puts themselves on top. The penalty goal from Windsor, no trouble there. Easily able to slot it through. Fans enjoyed themselves. The final home match here at Constellation Field, and you know SaberCats want to give them a victory.
Maybe wondering why is Major League Rugby putting on a match on a Thursday night, especially when you have a fairly open schedule, just 2 matches, one on Saturday, one on Sunday to follow. But we were originally scheduled for Saturday at Aviva Stadium. Most of you by now familiar with all the flooding that occurred that would delay construction over in Houston. As a result, this game would remain here and, well, venue available on a Thursday night.
Indeed, it's been one of the wettest years on the record, and that's saying something for the Gulf Coast region, especially here in Space City. Speaking with the ownership group of the SaberCats, they've just had to deal with weather, and they've not been able to work a week straight without a weather delay.
Well, we've yet to see our first scrum. This is where Houston has actually had quite a bit of success this year, winning their own scrums. But this set piece, again, another line out. Houston was vulnerable at times, coming out of the set piece against Nola Gold the other evening.
I mentioned the advantage for the SaberCats in the scrum. Lineout's just about even. It'll be interesting See if Houston is able to steal one away here.
Labor sends it in, cleanly handled. Looking for that driving ball opportunity. Secured by your Australian hooker. Getting the start tonight.
No, he's fine. No, he's fine there.
About 9 meters out. And Scott Green's whistle, much to the delight of the hometown boys.
Yeah, you mentioned Lever, what a huge addition he is to the Warriors starting lineup. The man from Perth, the former Brumbies U16 national champion down in Australia, former All-American at Lindenwood University.
Here we go, boys.
You see it right here.
Here's our mark, boys.
First scrum of the match coming to the
Remember our conversation, we need
SaberCats.
Had to wait
stability.
6.5 minutes for our first scrum. Third set piece overall this match. Houston's won better than 90% of their scrums. One of the better teams, top half of Major League Rugby this year. And a big part has been all the Irishmen they brought in. Among your props and hooker. Of course, the change today. Lever in at hooker in place of Logan Daniels, who got the start against Rooney for the Warriors. And across the way, of course, your hooker, Pat O'Toole for the SaberCats.
Yeah, O'Toole there, the hooker, his countryman, Charlie Conley, the loose head, the tight head, Matteo Sanguinetti, the Uruguayan, do a great job on the front row.
Off the boot, looking to eat up some real estate into touch.
Get a look there. It's Sir Don Potty. Great to have him back here in the starting lineup, making his 2019 debut with the team at fullback.
Samoan move to the U.S. 15 years back. Would go on to be a national sevens champion with University of Utah. We've got a few Utes and a few Cougars at BYU.
Yeah, both well represented on this Warriors roster.
Well, you talk about a new hooker working his way into the fold, and that's certainly tested with just having a rhythm with your teammates on these set pieces.
Now, when you talk about execution, just the pass behind, not finding the intended target, not anticipating the pass from Windsor. Houston lucky to retain possession.
Fortunate break for the SaberCats. Back to the boot of Windsor. A bobble by Vanicolo. Back to Potty. Start working through some early phases. Can Utah find its first points here on this possession?
Oh, the Dominion Davika able to break through.
Johnny Ika has beaten 2 men. A third SaberCat, too much to ask. Finally catching up was Max Tackett.
Ika, a bowling ball at 5'5" and 200 pounds. So difficult to bring down.
The Tongan inspiring his teammates, including his fellow countrymen and Uhila.
Four. Off feet first. Off feet first.
And you, again, for the sake of player safety, you must approach that ball with your feet on the ground.
That's right,
that was not the case with the SaberCats. Lock Diego Magno.
What you appreciate about Scott Green and all the professionals in pink this year in Major League Rugby, they will communicate to the specific player with the infraction, letting them know they're on notice. Second time they hear their number, it's fair game for that.
Make sure the player comes down before you engage them. Okay,
it's all
make sure
about
they come
keeping the
down
pace
first
of play
before you go in. Yes.
Trying to keep the flow moving, keeping it fan-friendly. I want to have to stop the match. I'd much rather explain to the player and continue with the action.
Again, Jeremy Lever added this month.
Lever, another miscue on the lineout. That's 2 in a row for the Aussie.
Who's chasing?
Just enough clearance for Murphy to give a bit of breathing room.
Utah without the services of Josh Reeves, the Brazilian international, back from ARC duty, but not in the lineup, not on the reserves tonight.
Houston would have been okay if ARC had been going on a tad longer. Nola Gold with the influx of the Canadians and a couple of additional players as well.
If I have to come in again,
now
I'm going to free
force.
kick you. You must come into the tunnel. Come in. No, come on.
I see the mark there. That being said, it helps Houston getting guys like Magno Sanguinetti back from the Uruguayan national team, the Echo as well.
And another struggle on the line out. They will say no forward knock, and now we get the whistle. More often than not, if that ball has to take a hop and it comes up and bites you, you're going to have a knock on. We got this one.
Seen some miscues early in this one, and there was indeed the knock-on from Fetsivani Kolo, the Tongan, 28 caps, 2 Rugby World Cups for Tonga, former Exeter Chiefs man, played for the Highlanders in Super 14 as well.
Houston, a short week, but yet minimal changes other than those that they were forced to make. But among the changes this week, after the rotation of scrum half, you do have Connor Murphy getting the start.
Sit.
This is after we saw Santiago Arata last week against the Gold.
That's a big loss, not having Arata in the lineup and not on the reserves as well. As good as Murphy is, Arata just a different caliber player. And Houston with the break here.
Houston has been able to do this all year long. The strength up front, able to get that scrum ultimately as a result to inadvertently turn. They win the penalty, and it's at times set up Sam Windsor.
Yeah, you see the scrum wheeling there. We talked about the front row of Sanguinetto, Toole, and Conley, but give those locks, Magno and Truville, a lot of credit as well. They are part of that engine room, part of that power, showing itself off.
Well-handled kick. They'll look for the driving ball, hoping for the first try of the night for the SaberCats.
They went forward. He's going up. Come onto your line here. Bring your boys in.
Opportunity here for line out. The driving ball. See if O'Toole can find his target.
Time's off. He's got a lace going on there.
Able to tuck it inside the 5. We'll bring it back out to the 5-meter line.
Just get your timing right. Make sure they come down before we drive in on them.
Irish influence. I mentioned the head coach, Justin Fitzpatrick. Great career he had.
Former prop for the Irish national team.
Yeah, step in, boys. Step in. Just come to the line. Thank you. Cheers. Yeah, cheers.
O'Toole to feed the line out here. Can they set up the maul?
That's fine. It's a maul.
Tip of the hat to Utah early on.
That's 1-9.
Perfectly taken line out, but Utah flexing their muscle.
Houston, the surge for O'Toole. That ball springs loose. Murphy outline. That's your fullback. Can he dumb it down?
Yes.
SaberCats with the first try of the night. Angelina. Oh, the man who's worn the red, white, and blue for both the 15s and the 7s of the US of A. Has the hometown boys up by 8.
Great work right here. Murphy able to get it through, then Windsor out to Pangilinan. And Pangilinan, the stiff arm, bounces off one would-be tackler and in to dot it down. First try of the match, extending Houston's lead. Pangilinan, former on-back man, Eagle number 437. I mentioned, used to play professional soccer, as he told me about 40 pounds ago. What a run right there to put the SaberCats on top. Now 8-0, the conversion looming.
He's one of the returners from the inaugural season of the SaberCats in MLR a year ago, and now his buddy Sam Windsor looking for the additional 2 points here. Windsor helps set up the line out in the driving maul. Flags are raised. It is a 10-0 advantage early for Houston.
Windsor, the penalty goal, 4 minutes, 25 seconds in. Then Pangilinan with the first try bulldozes his way across the line. Windsor no trouble on the conversion, and a great start for Houston in this one. But Lincoln, one thing we've seen this year in Major League Rugby, getting off to a quick start, that is it's great to get on top, but that is certainly no assurance of getting a victory. We've seen a lot of comfort behind wins this season.
We are certainly mindful, and it's a great thing that throughout the year we will continue to have new fans tuning in. Some fans that don't even know they're fans yet of the sport. Of course, in rugby, after you score, you receive the ball once again. Utah hoping for a field position advantage, hoping for a miscue from the SaberCats.
Kind of make it, take it, if you will, one of the things in rugby, and always happy to have the new fans. As I always say, most people agree, if you watch one rugby match, you are hooked. The action, the caliber of the athletes, how fast, how physical it is, one match is all you need.
We've already seen 3 of the 5 possible ways to score. A drop goal and a penalty try, yet to be crossed off your bingo boards.
I'll make the mark first, mate. Sorry.
We'd be okay if we didn't see a penalty try tonight.
Good there.
Back on me, back on me.
Back to the line out as that one finds itself out in touch.
In the line out. Team throwing the ball in gets to determine how many men between that 10-meter line and beyond.
Thank you.
Houston in transition. Pat O'Toole, the mutilator, able to tie it down. Oh, you love to see the big men rumble.
O'Toole, that one an absolute gift. And that came off the miscue of the lineout. Take again here, Lever just couldn't get that one where he wanted. We've seen 3 lineouts for him not find their target. O'Toole, the hooker, finds himself with it. No one in his path and in to extend Houston's lead.
A second therapeutic try for the SaberCats after conceding 7 tries on Saturday. They are the first to double dip in the try zone.
And remember, the bonus points so important in this one. Able to score 4 or more tries. Houston well on their way. Just 17 minutes having elapsed.
Probably a few minutes away from our first hydration break, but conversion opportunity again for Sam Windsor. He welcomes these kicks. He doesn't mind scoring just 2 points as opposed to 3. Modest pressure. Able to slip it through. Sam Windsor's perfect tonight, including the last 2 conversions.
Here's another look at it. O'Toole right in there. Ika didn't look like he wanted to make a play on O'Toole. Was looking for the ball instead. O'Toole says, I will take it, thank you very much. And the Irishman in for the second try of the night for the home side.
So many great vantage points to watch this game here at Constellation Field. They would love to send these fans home from Sugar Land happy with one final fond memory from this baseball venue.
Yeah, hard to believe both these teams with just 1 victory this year, and it came over from the same opponent. Houston able to beat Austin in their opening match of the season down in the capital city, and Utah a victory over Austin Elite as well in their first match this year.
Again, Utah was the one team unable to be a part of the fun on opening weekend. With 9 teams, 1 team had to be left out. That was the Warriors, and they still are 1 game behind everybody else in terms of games played. Could be to their benefit if they are to, just like last year, secure that 4th and final spot in the postseason.
Yeah, that's absolutely to their advantage, having played the fewest games in the league. That means they have more time to improve. They're going to have to improve quickly in this one, finding themselves already down in a 17-0 hole.
They secured that playoff spot against these SaberCats. Just like last year, these 2 teams on the schedule will be the final dancing partner for one another in the regular season. And really, they knocked off 2 Texas teams that day by beating Houston. They also kept Austin out of the postseason. So right now, the Warriors down by 17. It's been all SaberCats here in the first 19 minutes.
Utah, very little possession, haven't had opportunities to attack. Right now, just pounding forward, trying to suck in that SaberCats defense to find a hole to exploit.
Oh, they hang on for dear life there as Gannon Moore tried to break free.
And huge to have Moore back, the U.S. Eagle.
Pride of Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Picked up his first cap with the national team back in the fall.
You heard Austin Ivan mention about 70 degrees Fahrenheit here in Sugar Land. Nice one-handed snag from Ohila. He's inside the 5. Can they put their first points on the board? Inching closer. SaberCats looking for a try-saver, able to hold it up here.
Great work defensively, and you've got to give Matt Jensen a ton of credit there. The lock, number 4 on his back. The former BYU man, another USA Eagle.
And I misspeak. They say failure to release by the tackler.
Nice.
Obviously, that's all about keeping this game going, and it doesn't matter. Moments later, the turnover. Esdale stepping in.
The failure to release, Utah unable to take advantage, turned over.
Wow.
Advantage is over.
Esdale, the former safety at the University of Miami, showing off his speed. Now Potty. Potty stepping.
Does he have support?
And if you're Utah, that's what you want from number 15, Don Potty. Showed off his ability there, just so good in space.
Eyeing the try, and in is McClellan. Tonight could belong to the big boys up front.
That was 3. Tree red.
Back with his second year as a Warrior. Angus able to dot it down.
McClellan,
Yeah.
the Michigan native, another USA Eagle. Great to see McClellan there with the try towards ACL back in 2015 and showing no ill effects. Out quickly. And the prop over for Utah's first try of the night.
The pride of Traverse, Michigan. Former national champion with Davenport University.
After the conversion.
And that was big. They needed that response there, finding themselves down 17-0. All Houston early in this one. Very important response from McClellan and the Warriors.
Have to imagine we are in for a good one tonight. You can talk about the names who aren't here for both teams, but the men who are certainly have showed up. This should be the final play before our first hydration break. And again, for our newer fans, this kick being handled from the same angle from where that ball was scored in the try zone. And it does split the sticks. Utah back within 10. We'll step aside from Constellation Field tonight. SaberCats and Warriors. First of 2 regular season meetings this year in Major League Rugby.
Anything like that down at the goal line, you leave the field next time.
What does it mean to be super? I don't know anymore. And I've grown so tired of helping the ungrateful masses. It's time. It's time to be super again. It's beach season.
The EM sculpt is non-invasive and requires no recovery time or pre or post preparation. Get treated in just 30 minutes. Feel results right away. You'll see positive results soon after treatment and continue for weeks after. Schedule your appointment today with the one and only Timeless Plastic Surgery. Our board-certified doctors will get you on your way to washboard abs in no time.
Beaches love abs.
Cape and Superpowers not included.
No shortage of scores early on. The first 17 for the home squad. SaberCats, those Warriors able to answer with Angus McClellan's first try of the night. Gives us a chance to check in here with Austin Ivan.
It's week 9 of Major League Rugby, but the last time the Houston SaberCats will be playing here at Constellation Field, it's been a work in progress, but the next time they have a home game, they'll be playing in their brand new Aviva Stadium. Just today, the grass was laid, and they're putting on the final touches. There has been a few delays, but they're so excited to be moving in just a few weeks. Talking with some of the players before the game, they said they're so thankful that they've had this as their home the past year and a half, but it's a baseball field, and they're excited to have a stadium that's actually meant for rugby. So today, with the 10-point advantage right now, they're looking to get their first and last win here at Constellation Field.
Yeah, Austin, Constellation Field has been a great makeshift home. It's on the southwest side outside of Houston. Aviva Stadium will be in Houston, rugby specific. And I know the fans are looking forward to it. Heck, all of Major League Rugby looking forward to it as the league continues to grow and mature. Rugby-specific stadiums certainly will be welcome.
Oh, absolutely. And having seen Aviva Stadium, the mock-ups, seen pictures of it, a beautiful facility specific for rugby, has great sight lines, not a bad seat in the house for the fans. It's going to be a bit longer, a bit wider, maybe a bit more room for that SaberCats offense to operate.
Back to Leber again, one of your changes up front today for the Warriors.
Thank you.
After a first 17 minutes dominated by the home team, Utah able to come back. The try from McClellan. O'Malley with the conversion. Now getting some extended possession going through the phases are the Warriors.
No, now, Black away. No, don't go in.
I will mention, just for the sake of the grounds crew here at Constellation Field, it is easier for you at home to see that infield for the baseball diamond. But at Constellation Field, this pitch is beautiful.
Oh, it's fantastic. You and I have walked down on it. We were on it previous, and you can't tell. There's no discernible difference between where that infield is and the rest of the pitch. absolutely carpet-like surface. But having your own home is just, it's another feeling, and the players know that. To have your own place, your own locker room, and be able to call it home, have that fortress. SaberCats really looking forward to it.
This is the home of the Sugarland Skiers during the summer. That's an independent minor league team, a team that Roger Clemens threw his final pitch for. Tracy McGrady threw his first and final pitches for, the former NBA All-Star.
Was that in the same game?
Anything goes in minor league baseball. As feeding the tunnel here, again, back to Pat O'Toole. He started the trend going in terms of the big men rumbling into the tri-zone tonight.
Yeah, both teams need to clean up the lineouts just a bit. That one stays with Houston.
Thank you.
Lucky that Utah wasn't able to steal it away.
Murphy will keep this one playable. Able to squeeze it in on the hip. First time we've called the name of James Simple tonight, the fly half, out of New Zealand. Also your backs coach. And right now, no looking back. Vandenberg frees it up for Williams in time. Oh, those Warriors trailed by as many as 17, but looking for back-to-back strikes here.
Utah looking very dangerous, moving the ball out quickly, getting clean ball to backs. This is what you want to see if you're a Warriors fan.
A tight pass there to Kaka.
Oh, great hands from Potty, able to secure that one. What a difference he makes.
Unable to spin out of the ankle tackle, Lance Williams, who slides over tonight, wearing the 7 on his back, staying at flanker, taking the role of Ara Elkington this evening.
Back. We're offside advantage.
And certainly welcome the fans back in Utah at their watch party at Top Golf.
Again, congratulations to the Elkington family. Kohia Ivy Elkington, the newest member, making her appearance early this morning.
13 black.
As Scott Green's whistle, I don't think it's been put to quite as much use this evening. He certainly welcomes less involvement.
Oh, without a doubt. This has been a very fan-friendly match. It's been high-octane, back and forth, a lot of points scored. It's been up-tempo.
Option, points.
Utah looking the better side the last few minutes. That try really building their confidence, and it looks like O'Malley's going to call for the tee. The Kiwi will bring it out, the captain.
24-year-old captain for the Warriors.
Every time I look up at a breakdown, I'm having to manage both sides to step back.
Again, after the penalty, you have the option to take a scrum or perhaps an opportunity to split the sticks for 3 points.
They must take a step.
Sam Windsor 1 for 1 tonight on penalty goals for Houston.
Yes.
And now the first chance here for the Warriors. One of our 3 New Zealand natives in the lineup tonight for the visiting side. And O'Malley able to bring it back within a single score, separating Houston and Utah.
Nicely done by O'Malley. Calm, cool, collected, slots it right through. And Utah, after going down 17-0, just 17 minutes in, they have rumbled back. The last 10 have all been in favor of the visitors.
Mentioned that your captain, 24 years young. This was a Warriors team that made it to the postseason last year, where the starting lineup averaged better than 30 years of age. This year, more often than not, we only see 1 or 2 starters that have already made 30 trips around the sun.
Yeah, they brought in a lot of young talent, international talent. Talk about Vandenberg, the tight head prop, the South African, just 22 years old. McClellan already scored just at 26.
Matt Jensen wearing that 5 on his back, perhaps better known as 506, the Eagle.
Knock-on advantage. There's no clear advantage for the boys.
2-time national champion with those BYU Cougars. Seems to be just fine teaming up with some former Utah Utes.
Yeah, lost forward there. Yeah, we'll come off this.
Yeah, kick through. You saw the knock on. As you so correctly said, if that ball's going forward and it's not secured, chances are it is a knock on. And that was the case there. So it'll be scrum to Ika and Utah.
Kid, I always joke with you in Major League Rugby, the first team to score loses. And too often we have seen a team come out gangbusters
Shoulder far side.
only to see the other team, if they can establish confidence in those first 20 minutes,
don't tuck it, don't hide it.
able to overcome a deficit. Let's listen in to Scott Green.
He's hiding his shoulder. Let's keep it out.
So important to keep that tabletop. Thousands of pounds of pressure coming in the scrum. Safety always first and foremost.
Your props and hookers linking up front. 8 men for either side in that scrum.
Sit.
Ika set to put it in. What a year he had last year. All the national team exposure with Tonga A in the America's Pacific Challenge.
There's Houston doing what they've done. And we will have a whistle, a moot point this run from Ika.
What a job from Houston, just blowing up that scrum, going right through, I should say. The power up front. Look at the men in black, sending all the pack back for the Warriors.
If somehow winning scrums could get you bonus points, Houston would be a playoff team already. This is a group retooled this year. We mentioned, obviously, your former Irish prop, Justin Fitzpatrick, your head coach, brings in some countrymen up front. It has paid off,
take the line, please.
But more often than not, it's led to 3 points after the penalties. Already, though, 2 tries tonight.
Yeah, you're good there. Yep.
That's a great sign for Houston, a team that has had trouble finding the try zone. A lot of times they've resorted to the 3 points.
And let's see if Utah interfered
outside
there.
Shoulder. Line out, scrum. Line out.
And they will say no. Houston not straight, I believe.
That's one of the things is you get a choice if you would like the line out or the scrum, and electing to take the line out in this situation, I believe.
So penalty against Houston.
And you certainly understand that if you're Utah. You don't want to face the power of that Houston scrum if you don't have to.
Back to Leber. You see Butch Neuenschwander, one of our 3 officials across the way.
And again, Leber trouble putting it in, stolen away by Houston.
Alejandro Nieto, your number 8 tonight for the SaberCats.
Utah's really going to have to clean up that lineup. Line out, I should say.
That's a tackle. It's a
Remember,
tackle,
they took
boys.
a turnover for a try from O'Toole earlier in this match, but the last 10 points have belonged to the Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh, that is not going to be a welcome sign from Scott Green. Connor Murphy initially wanted the offside call, but simply unnecessary to lift your opponent and drive him into the ground.
Come on now.
Yeah, something Houston knows all too much about. You see Fetz Vanikolo, the Tongan national team man, 33-year-old, the wing, just body slamming Murphy down. And Houston composed as they are without 2 of their top players, the backs. And
a straightforward offside penalty against 11. He's tackled the player. I haven't seen much in it. So what I'll do, I'll talk to 11, and I'm going to talk to 15 for coming in. Do you have anything to add to that? Okay.
So as we mentioned, the red cards last week to
where's my 11
He's seen Kalina-Sau, huge losses.
Scott Green talking things over with Gavin McCandless, his colleague, kind of replaying things through their mind, what they saw. I believe I did hear an offside and then a subsequent body slam.
Okay? Yeah. Back. Matt. Zach. I'm not done with you, buddy. Yeah. What we're not going to have is your backs running in to get involved, okay? Because that's going to spark everything off. So you just stay out, okay, and let me deal with it. It's my job. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Offside penalty, time on.
Well, Houston's certainly going to be mindful after what transpired just on Saturday. Scott Green inviting them to not join the fray and escalate things.
Scott Green doing a great job right there, not only explaining what transpired, explaining his ruling, but also saying, let me do my job, you do your job. I'm here to officiate, you play, and let's keep that distinction. A lot of time players like to chime in.
Meanwhile, on the bus ride back to the airport, somebody may be getting a call from Vince McMahon.
How'd you be on site for me?
Yes. Sam Windsor, because of the penalty within his range, and when you say his range, anywhere within 50 meters, they're comfortable with number 10.
Absolutely. If he's on that side of midfield, maybe even a few meters on the other side, they will bring out the tee with this powerful and accurate leg for the Rook.
Utah has scored the last 10 points. Windsor with a chance to snap that trend here.
Good, boys.
And Sam is 2 for 2. And has made all 4 of his kicks overall tonight. Last year's leading scorer in Major League Rugby.
On the ground.
Kept Houston in contention. In a lot of ball games.
You may be right. You may be right.
Despite just finishing with that one win against Austin last year, they're looking, well, for a franchise best second victory on this young campaign.
Yeah, nicely done there by Windsor. Takes advantage. The penalty goal. Houston, after giving up 10 unanswered, able to put 3 on their side. Now back to a 10-point lead.
No. Goals have changed now, mate.
Nieto makes the squeeze. Now we'll free it up.
Windsor almost automatic from that distance.
Last feet. Lance, last feet, mate. Yeah, you are.
And Connor Murphy not shy of trying to play the aerial attack. Able to get it across midfield into touch for a line out.
Very entertaining first 33 minutes of this one. Back and forth, points scored. Opportunities for Utah. Obviously, they need more of the ball. They need it in the hands of guys like Gannon Moore, Potty. They've been dangerous. Venicolo, just haven't seen enough of it if you're a Warriors fan.
Yeah, it's good.
Remember, Houston able to force some turnovers early off these lineouts from the Warriors.
That's fine. Yep.
Complex game plan that time.
The Warriors resorting to taking it short, more of a sure thing.
No.
Gannon Moore frees it up for Uhila. Uhila back for his second year with the Warriors.
Here, be onside.
What a story, Sayu Uhila. Younger brother Lonnie, the Tongan Bear.
Yep.
There in the Hurricanes of Super Rugby, now playing for Clermont in France. But Saia gave up his dreams of being a pro rugby player to train along.
Advantage is over.
Now being able to be a pro in his own right.
Who's tackling who? That's Sergeant John Cullen laying out a SaberCat on his run down the near touchline. The vice captain, John Cullen.
Body's so slippery.
Williams,
a former University of Hawaii linebacker, one of the team captains there with the Rainbow Warriors.
One of so many football converts. Windsor able to squeeze it in.
Windsor looking for the offload, just couldn't get it into the hands of Trouville.
It went off the boot of Trouville. Could not get to it first. The speed advantage belonged to Gannon Moore. And the whistle from Scott Green.
And Moore doing the smart thing, just kicking that one away, but looks to be another opportunity there. Windsor just unable to outrun the man, couldn't get the offload to his intended target. Here it is again. Windsor able to bat that one to himself. But a great job defensively. Simple, able to track him down, and then Moore wins the foot race over Trouville.
In rugby, you cannot throw the ball forward, but you certainly can advance it with your foot.
Hold on, wait there, mate.
And they will look again. Utah knows exactly what Houston wants to do here. Try to set up that maul and have a driving maul back into the try zone.
Whistle's gone. It's not straight.
The throw is not straight. So the penalty against Houston, it'll be Utah scrum or...
What would you like, scrum,
let's
line
see
out.
If they want a line out.
Line out, please.
No decision there. Utah will quickly take the line out anytime there's an option.
Scott Green did not offer the penalty goal try.
Yeah, that's your mark. 5.
So Utah may have caught a break as Houston was flirting with its second straight score. Well, we certainly understood during the ARC when there were a lot of moving pieces in these set pieces when folks struggled with the line out. But those repetitions should be there as we flirt with midseason.
Here, Red. Thank you, good stuff.
You're at the point in the season you need to execute in the set pieces. No longer an excuse if it's early in the season. We're missing players due to national team duty.
Time is off. We have an outfit.
Just a moment to lace up some boots.
It's going to be a full line out?
Saturday.
Full line out, yeah?
Because it's here instead of...
I'll see you up
Well, after tonight, the Warriors will head back home.
Yes.
Toronto will come to town.
Okay, time's back on now.
Warriors and Arrows colliding for the first time ever. Meeting that expansion side from Ontario. Well, we mentioned Houston, of course, will make the trek over to Colorado to take on Glendale to kick off their April slate. They'll have a bye week, though, coming up first.
Impressive start for Toronto, their first year of Major League Rugby.
And they've yet to play a home game. Toronto will play all 8 of its road games first. Let their home pitch thaw out, and then play 8 straight home games. If they're in contention, they could be climbing the ladder quickly. Right now, Sanguinetti.
No, two. Thank you. Good lead.
Windsor. Esdale frees it up for Murphy. First chance to call, really the name, Charlie Connolly, the tight head prop. A whistle.
It's a clear tackle.
Outside the 5-meter line,
it's a
coming
clear
back.
Tackle, and then holding.
And did not release quickly enough. Again, most of the infractions you'll hear Scott Green enforce are either player safety or slowing down the game, essentially. Rugby, ideally, you are constantly flowing.
Conley indeed tackled, did not release. You must release the ball after tackled. Irish prop did not. Had eyes for the tri-zone, someplace he doesn't find himself all too frequently.
Take the line, mate. You'd ask it for it.
It'll be big here for Utah if they can find points before the end of this half, if they can cut this.
Johnny, you got to come in if you're 9, you got to be close to 2 meters.
Houston's lone win on the road. Season opener against Austin.
No, it's fine.
Their 2 franchise wins over the past 2 years have been against their fellow Lone Star State brethren. That's dangerously high tackle, but nothing that will draw an infraction.
We have a number
there. On Nieto, that was not a high tackle, clearly up around the shoulders.
Oh, great job on. Able to ditch to Moore, and he will give them more. The offload to Moore, and he will be able to dot it down.
Gannon Moore, USA Eagle with the try, but give all credit to the young tight head prop, Franco Vandenberg, the South African, the former junior Springbok. Absolutely outstanding work. Here it is again. Look at number 1, the big man rumbling. Fantastic offload on the money into the hands of Moore. And Moore, no trouble as he flies across for the try, and a huge try here in the final seconds of the first half.
Franco Vandenberg with the assist there. The man born on October 31st. A little trick leads to the treat.
Vandenberg just 22 years old. Won a World Rugby U20 championship with the junior Springboks. Very impressive player that the Warriors have, and a bright future for number 1.
Favorable angle here for Mr. O'Malley. Chance to pull this back within a penalty goal. Credit Utah. Fell early on the road, but no excuses. Looking to play the full 80 tonight.
Good.
It's been a busy night for those right arms raising flags.
Yeah, it's halftime, boys.
And that is your final play of the opening 40 minutes in Sugar Land. Houston, a convincing start, hangs on for the 3-point edge. Austin Ivins with their head coach, the top SaberCat, Justin Fitzpatrick.
Coach, your team had a quick start and had a 17-point lead. What was working so well for your offense in this first few minutes?
I thought we were dominating the set piece, and that gave us a lot of possession, and our kicking game and our kick chase worked well, so we were getting some position as well. Couple of bad spacing and missed tackles there and letting them back into the game. So we've got to tighten that up in the second half and keep going with the position and possession that we were getting in the first half.
Thank you, Coach.
Austin, thank you. What a night on this Thursday evening for Major League Rugby. SaberCats at the half, up by 3.
Meet the next generation of studio fitness. Introducing Tough Mudder Boot Camp. Train together. See results faster than ever. Check one out or own one yourself.
Season 2 of Major League Rugby is up and running. 9 teams from across the U.S. and Canada battle it out every week for the right to hoist the MLR Shield.
One for the line. Look at this guy going over.
The crowd is going wild. The intensity, the drama, the buzz. You've got to love it. This is Rugby America. Get involved. Get behind it. It's here to stay.
Once upon a time, there was a time when time stood still and you could pause the hustle and bustle to unwind with good music and a cold, refreshing beer. Well, friend, that time can now be any time thanks to Love Street Kolsch Style Blonde. It's a crisp, easy drinking, go-with-the-flow beer brewed with floral German hops. Hello. Well, hi there. When all you need is to kick back and give the soul some free time, all you need is Love Street. Brewed with love in Houston, Texas by the Karbach Brewing Company.
Hello, my name is Christopher Santarose. I'm the master instructor of United Taekwondo here in Katy, Texas. We teach Taekwondo to children and adults of all ages. We also have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Friday nights at 6:30. We look forward to meeting you and your family soon.
Aviva, proudly sponsoring Houston SaberCats Rugby. With over 16,000 customers and 4,400 employees across the globe, we have delivered unrivaled excellence for more than 50 years. In an environment that's increasing in complexity, the one constant is the need for change. Change driven by new demands, by a desire to do things better, and by sustaining what you've created. We enable customers to master change, pushing boundaries in a digital world where everything is possible.
Meet the next generation of studio fitness. Introducing Tough Mudder Boot Camp. Train together. See results faster than ever. Check one out or own one yourself.
Major League Rugby is brought to you by Aviva. Aviva, a global leader in engineering and industrial software. You can learn more about Aviva at aviva.com. Baylor College of Medicine, Sports Medicine, is proud to be the official healthcare provider of the Houston SaberCats. We know athletes because we are athletes. And Buffalo Specialties. If you can dream it, we can create it. Midway through here in Sugar Land, the SaberCats up by 3 against the Warriors. First of 2 meetings this year in MLR.
Brother on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Think about all the things you sacrificed. Think of how far you've come. What we're going to do today to kickstart this brand new league off.
Join us Saturday, April 13th in our first game at the brand new Aviva Stadium. It's ladies' night and all ladies receive a 20% discount on tickets purchased at the box office.
Welcome, Dynamo fans, to Cube 57. Patty Smith, John Granato, and Paul Gallant.
We're really excited to be broadcasting 30 Houston Dynamo games this season. We were the Dynamo home last year. We're proud to be it again, and we hope that you'll be along with us, whether they're here at BBVA Compass Stadium or on the road all season long.
That's right, Channel 57 or 653 on Xfinity. Come join us.
We know athletes because we are athletes. At the Sports Medicine Clinic at the Baylor College of Medicine, we provide top-level care to athletes of all levels in Houston and around the country. As the official healthcare provider of the Houston SaberCats, our doctors and sports medicine healthcare professionals are dedicated to safely enhancing our athletes' performance while promoting recovery and injury prevention. Getting you back on the field, in the game, and ready to roar.
Once upon a time, there was a time when time stood still and you could pause the hustle and bustle to unwind with good music and a cold, refreshing beer. Well, friend, that time can now be any time thanks to Love Street Kolsch Style Blonde. It's a crisp, easy drinking, go-with-the-flow beer brewed with floral German hops. Hello. Well, hi there. When all you need is to kick back and give the soul some free time, all you need is Love Street. Brewed with love in Houston, Texas by the Karbach Brewing Company.
Hello, my name is Christopher Centerose. I'm the master instructor of United Taekwondo here in Katy, Texas. We teach Taekwondo to children and adults of all ages. We also have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Friday nights at 6:30. We look forward to meeting you and your family soon.
SaberCats right now at home up by 3 against the Warriors. Well, the last time we saw Commissioner Dean Howes in Major League Rugby, he was handing over an 80-pound trophy to Seattle. No trophy tonight here midseason, but he is down on the pitch with Austin Ivan.
Yes, I am with Major League Rugby's Commissioner Dean Howes. Welcome to Houston. How's this weather compared to Utah?
Oh, it's wonderful, Austin. It's just a beautiful night for rugby.
Well, this is year 2 of Major League Rugby, and it's already expanded so much. How pleased are you with the way it's grown in the U.S.?
Well, I'm excited about the growth. You know, we went from 7 teams playing last year to 9 this year. We have 13 members. All 13 members are up in the box here because we have a meeting tomorrow, so I couldn't be more pleased with the expansion.
What changes would you like to see in year 3 going forward?
Well, obviously, we want to continue to grow. We want to have the same kind of improvement from year 1 on the pitch. I mean, if you watch the games this year, you'll see that technically, speed, all those key indicators are a lot better this year than they were last year. So we want to keep growing in that way. And then, of course, commercially, we want to get better. More people coming out to watch it, more kids playing it.
I know a lot of people will be coming out when Houston opens their new stadium in just a couple weeks. You got to visit it this afternoon. How's it looking?
Aviva Stadium. It is the second rugby-specific stadium here in the United States and the first one that was built specifically for professional rugby. So it's beautiful. It's going to be gorgeous. It's going to open in a soft opening in a couple of weeks, and then hopefully we'll have a big grand opening in a couple of months. So it's beautiful.
Do any other teams plan on maybe in the foreseeable future building a rugby stadium?
Oh, I hope so. You know, I think everybody has to have a home, right? The professional sports need to have a home, and then commercially having your own home is an important place too. And you know, your athletes need to have a place that they can call home. It's their pitch, it's their turf. They get to protect it. So I believe that everybody sooner or later will have a rugby-specific stadium.
You don't have much of a rugby background, but you do have a sports background. What's made you so passionate about rugby?
You know what? Rugby is a great sport. What I like about sports are things that convert to television, right? And rugby is a wonderful TV sport. It's intimate. You can take close shots. It's constant action. And it's a great stadium sport. So it is a sport that has a lot of potential. So what draws me to it is, obviously the people that are participating, the owners, the great owners that are putting so much into this effort. But for me, it's really about the potential that this has in the future.
What's the most exciting part about being the commissioner of the Major League Rugby?
I'm used to being on the other side of the table, but what's the most exciting thing is just working with everybody. This is really a heavy lift. And you know what, we've done it the right way. The owners have done it the right way. So the most exciting part is really just watching the growth, watching everybody mature as they take on these ventures.
We got a good ball game going on right now. What have you thought about the first half?
You know what, very competitive. I'm sure that Houston's getting a little nervous with Utah coming back, but you know what, it's a great game. It's a great night for rugby. It's a great game, and go Rugby.
Well, thank you so much for coming out here. We enjoy having you in Houston.
Thanks, Austin.
Austin, thank you. Yes, Dean Howe said all 13 members as the league growing by 4 in the near future. SaberCats up by 3 here at the half.
Meet the next generation of studio fitness. Introducing Tough Mudder Boot Camp. Train together. See results faster than ever. Check one out or own one yourself.
Aviva, proudly sponsoring Houston SaberCats Rugby. With over 16,000 customers and 4,400 employees across the globe, we have delivered unrivaled excellence for more than 50 years. In an environment that's increasing in complexity, the one constant is the need for change. Change driven by new demands, by the desire to do things better, by sustaining what you've created. We enable customers to master change, pushing boundaries in a digital world where everything is possible.
We know athletes because we are athletes. At the Sports Medicine Clinic at the Baylor College of Medicine, we provide top-level care to athletes of all levels in Houston and around the country. As the official healthcare provider of the Houston SaberCats, our doctors and sports medicine healthcare professionals are dedicated to safely enhancing our athletes' performance while promoting recovery and injury prevention. Getting you back on the field, in the game, and ready to roar.
Season 2 of Major League Rugby is up and running. 9 teams from across the U.S. and Canada battle it out every week for the right to hoist the MLR Shield.
One for the line. Look at this guy going over.
The crowd has gone wild. The intensity, the drama, the buzz. You've got to love it. This is Rugby America. Get involved. Get behind it. It's here to stay.
Once upon a time, there was a time when time stood still, and you could pause the hustle and bustle to unwind with good music and a cold, refreshing beer. Well, friend, that time can now be any time thanks to Love Street Kolsch Style Blonde. It's a crisp, easy drinking, go-with-the-flow beer brewed with floral German hops. Hello. Well, hi there. When all you need is to kick back and give the soul some free time, all you need is Love Street. Brewed with love in Houston, Texas by the Carbach Brewing Company.
Meet the next generation of studio fitness. Introducing Tough Mudder Boot Camp. Train together. See results faster than ever. Check one out or own one yourself.
Both teams half their way to a try bonus perhaps tonight. Right now, the SaberCats leading 20-17. Take a look at an eventful opening half, Kit McConico.
Sam Windsor got us underway. The penalty goal put Houston on top 3-0. And then the SaberCats finding the first try. Beautiful ball outside. Angeline in the fullback, rumbling through and able to dot it down. The conversion good. That made it 10-0 Houston. They would continue a gift into the hands of their hooker, Pat O'Toole. The big man, the Irishman, rumbling from long range. The conversion, 17-0. Houston, a dream start. But then Utah starting to find their footing. The Warriors rumbling back. Angus McClellan, the hooker for the Warriors with the first try. Completing conversion from O'Malley. And it was a 17-7 game. Teams exchanging penalty goals. O'Malley with one, then Windsor the other way from long range. And at the very end, Gannon Moore, the final try, a great offload from Franco Vandenberg right to Moore. Moore able to elude the would-be tackler Kohlberg and in. 20-17, Houston on top by just 3 at the break. A back-and-forth first 40 minutes.
These Warriors so far just 1 try bonus this year as part of that historic draw against Glendale. Now since then we've seen Glendale with another draw, as only Dan Power, your friend, could predict. But right now, anybody's half coming up here with 40 fresh minutes about to be unveiled.
And important for both these teams to get off to a good start. The first 10 minutes critical. Who comes out on the front foot? Who can establish themselves? Houston dominated the first 20 minutes of the first half. And then it was Utah on the front foot in the second. Scott Green having a quick word there with Utah flanker Jackson Kaka, the former BYU football player. Kaka, actually the Hawaii native, played at Kahuku High School. The Red Raiders, the powerhouse of Hawaiian football. That is, well, the alma mater of a man who plays some football down at the University of Alabama by the name of Tungo Vailoa.
And eventually, I'm sure we'll get him to cross over to the good side of things, right?
You could only hope. I don't know what his kicking ability is, but I have a feeling that he could probably put a ball on the money.
Again, you see the kit sponsor Aviva, of course, the namesake of the stadium as well. SaberCats scheduled to open it up on the 12th of next month against the defending champions of the league, Seattle. The season this year essentially twice as long as the maiden voyage last year. It'll be interesting to see if any of these teams hit a wall. Which teams take advantage of the additional matches to try to gain some ground in the table?
This year, a true season, every aspect, everyone playing each other home and away as it should be.
Mentioned these two teams happen to play a couple of occasions last year, including the season finale. They'll do so again on the 1st of June in Utah this year. Squeezed in by Trouville, your captain.
Okay, we're inside. Hold back.
And we'll have a trade of boots here early on.
And we heard from Houston head coach Justin Fitzpatrick when he spoke with Austin there at the beginning of the half. His side, they were great in the kicking game and a fantastic chase early in the first half, but then they started to miss some tackles. Utah took advantage. They were getting a quick, clean ball out to the backs. That's how they were able to come back.
Since Houston kicked that from inside its own 22, able to spot it here after it's on the full or on the fly into touch. Did not look promising in the opening minutes for Utah, but they came up with an answer, and all of a sudden, even Commissioner Dean Howes detected that they had turned the table, putting some pressure on the home side.
Yeah, they certainly did. They weathered the initial storm. They found what they wanted to do. Got the ball into the hands of the danger men like Potty. Even though Potty was unable to dot one down, he showed his ability, his elusiveness, and what a difference having Don Potty in this starting lineup, making his 29 debut with the team at fullback means.
Early set piece to the liking of Houston. Connor Murphy will have the benefit of feeding these forwards.
Crouch.
Houston, as we anticipated, dominant in the scrum in the first half. A real edge, winning over 93% of their scrums compared to just 79% for Utah this season.
Houston even enjoyed possession in that 49-11 loss against NOLA Gold. They just could not cap things off. Utah reacting to what they thought was a high effort. But we'll play on. And now the whistle.
Attack it there on Gannon Moore. Indeed appeared to be high.
13. 1-3.
Scott Green giving a little warning to Max Tackett, who gets the start tonight.
Yeah, you've got to keep those down.
Yeah, Tackett tried to pull out of it. The San Luis Obispo, California native just a bit late.
I think he thought Gannon Moore was actually going to elevate higher for that ball. Just did not come to fruition.
No yellow cards, no red cards issued in the first half.
Gannon Moore returned to the United States just in time to become an Eagle.
What a career he had down at North Harbor, Denver Stampede, KC Blues.
Let's check in with Austin Ivan down on the pitch.
I was talking with Utah head coach Alfred Daniels at the break, and the main area he emphasized was not letting Houston start quick like they did in the first. So the two reasons Houston was able to score 17 points was because of missed tackles and not staying connected on the top line. So he said if they make those changes plus stay patient on offense, it should be a much different ball game in the second half.
Austin, thank you again. Thankful she had a chance to catch up with Alf Daniels, top man for the Warriors, as SaberCats essentially watching the tape back against Nola Gold and saying, let's do some of that.
Absolutely, and as good as these two teams are offensively, you've got to make the tackles. Do not give them extended opportunities. And that one just not finding its intended target. Utah will send it out, looking for the line out here and an opportunity.
Could Utah get over the hump here? 5 meters removed from their ultimate target.
Warriors have not led in the game, went down early 17-0. They battled back to cut it to 3.
Oh, swift toss. Uhila gets them within 3. And SaberCats able to put a kink of the plans there. They spot the knock-on.
Jensen just, he was trying to offload it. Couldn't find his intended target, couldn't hold on, and that's a big break for Houston.
Bring it back out to the 5. Let's see if they get this to the boot of Windsor.
Just stay behind the ball, and we're good to go.
Or test their luck here.
You'll assume they'll get this one out, try to relieve pressure, kick it out of danger.
Crouch.
In Connor Murphy, your starting scrum half tonight.
It's okay. It's okay.
Chase is going to be important for Houston. They did a great job in the first half, specifically early in the first half, with the chase and the kicking game. And that's one thing that sometimes is overlooked. You talk about the kick, and
just watch the binds to me.
The chase almost more important than the kick itself. Getting pressure on the men receiving it.
Scott Green didn't like the looks of the initial scrum. And again, for the sake of player safety, they'll go back through the motions here.
Set.
All year long.
The dominance of the SaberCats scrum continues.
It just hasn't always led to the results after 80 minutes that they would hope for, but right now, still a 3-point lead intact.
I see his scrum.
Again, the official violation on Utah, wheeling of the scrum. Again, a player safety concern.
There's certainly a size advantage. When you talk about the front row for Houston, Sanguinetti, O'Toole, Conley, they have some pounds on Vandenberg, Lieber, and McClellan, and they're using them in that situation.
Yeah, they're clearly dominant there, yep.
And all of a sudden, Houston quickly back close to midfield.
Then the poor line out, Houston gives it away. The line outs, a lot to be desired from both teams in the set piece.
Advantage is over.
You hear Scott Green end what was an existing advantage.
Late hit by 13 black. More than a penalty. Okay, we have advantage. 13 black. Late tackle.
And back to another advantage here for Utah, as you heard Scott Green able to communicate with his assistants.
Okay, I'm gonna have a chat to Matty now.
O'Malley's slow to his feet.
Here.
You take a look at it here.
Where's my mark?
And there it is, the tackle, the high tackle from Tackett going up around the shoulders.
Do we have a number on the tackler, the red tackler?
O'Malley being attended to.
Tackled who?
Utah unable to do anything with the advantage. Tackett just...
Okay, I've got 13 black involved.
Ball had already been offloaded.
This is his final warning. Anything else from 13 black, he'll be off the field. Okay? Okay, late tackle on 13. So we have a high tackle over there, marginal penalty only. Here he's playing man after he's passed the ball. You've got to tidy up your discipline. Yeah, otherwise I'm going to remove him.
He was at the line when he threw his pass, so if he doesn't make it...
You still can't tackle the man late. Okay? Yep.
Scott Green generous tonight.
Is there a mark here?
Usually he gets to have the monologue and the captain gets to listen. He took a little bit of feedback from Matt Truville.
And you heard what Scott Green said there, late tackle, obviously, and he also said Tackett, the next thing he's going to be going off. I don't know if that means he's going to the bin for 10 or if he's going to see a red, but Houston going to have to be very careful. Will, their outside center.
Not quite 10 minutes into the second half. Still looking for our first strike. O'Malley a chance to tie it up here on the penalty goal.
O'Malley's been perfect thus far, as has his counterpart Windsor.
And both of our talented kickers for these two teams from down under, Australia and New Zealand. O'Malley, your center for Utah, as they sit on 1 win, 1 draw, 3 defeats so far. Plenty of distance, and again the flags are up. Brand new bowl game here in Sugar Land.
What a kick from the Kiwi. Perfectly on line, plenty of distance, and ties it at 20 all. Absolutely beautiful strike from Tim O'Malley.
Now you're fine, mate. Just wait, boys. Be patient. Hold here, Red.
I haven't seen very much from Houston outside of that first 20 minutes where they were dominant.
You're off the ball.
Got to think right now, Utah is the team playing with more confidence, and they're on the front foot.
Have to imagine a knock-on will be the call there.
Been impressed with Franco Vandenberg. Tight head prop has had some opportunities. That one, the whistle.
Shot. 2, you're off the ball, then you go back and play it. You're clearly off the ball at start.
Yeah, Scott Green brings it back.
Vandenberg, an impressive young player. He knows he finds himself with it to take advantage.
And Sam Windsor, opening night. Again, that was back on January 26th in Round Rock against Austin. 7, the 7th of which of his penalty goals would give them their lone victory so far this year.
Well, he counted for every point in that match for the SaberCats as they came away with a 21-20 victory. Austin was up, but a late penalty gave Houston the win.
He's 4 for 4 on kicks tonight. 2 conversions, a pair of penalty goals. And no need to rewrite the headlines of the Houston Chronicle for tomorrow. Windsor still perfect, business as usual.
No trouble there. Windsor, just like clockwork, puts it right through, and he and O'Malley putting on an exhibition in this one. Back and forth. Houston back with a 3-point advantage. We mentioned both these teams with just 1 victory this year, and they know this game incredibly important and looking to relaunch their efforts, trying to find their way into the playoffs this season. They must win tonight.
So a short-lived tie score there as the SaberCats inch back ahead.
No, I'm going to get out your way, believe me. Hold black, hold
Again,
black.
Houston playing on a short week, while Utah with a week and a half to assess things and also thaw out after a scenic match, if nothing else, in the snow.
That being said, we haven't seen a real advantage in fresh legs for Utah, even though they've had almost twice as much time off since the last match as Houston has. Houston, a very good accounting of themselves. They're in great shape, what I've seen early from the SaberCats. We'll see if that continues to be the case as we get to the 60th and 70th minute.
Utah made that score a little prettier against Rooney before it's all said and done. Remember, Josh Anderson came off the bench at wing with that 80-meter run, the length of the pitch. You then see Sergeant John Cullen with the punctuation on the end of a great finish for the Warriors.
Where's my 8?
They would finally put up 21 points in that loss, but both these teams conceding nearly 50 points in their last outing.
Okay?
This is a much different ball game.
You've got to stay there till the ball comes out. Okay, if you change, the ball's out. Yeah. Stay in your channel, that's all.
You mean once it's already at the back?
No, once the scrum starts, the 8 can't change his channels. Okay.
And again, Scott Green, the class of this group of fantastic officials here in Major League Rugby who really work with the players, making sure constantly educate everything they're saying to them, making sure it benefits the game. And it's only when absolutely necessary that then they become the enforcer after their advisors fallen on deaf ears.
Yeah, this match very tightly contested as we assumed it would be. The number 7th and 8th place team in the MLR standings. Utah in 7th, SaberCats in 8th.
Steady.
7 points for the Warriors, 6 for the Cats. It's a tightly contested match as we've seen this season.
A familiar sight. The scrum for Houston leads to the penalty in their favor.
And there's going to be a change up front for Houston as Matteo Sanguinetti, he will be coming off. They're going to bring on Turnbull. Jake Turnbull wearing the number 17 comes on as the loose head prop.
Okay.
I also see Deaver, who on Saturday was your loose head prop, will come on for the tight head prop, presumably Charlie Connolly, unless they change things up.
Deaver taking over for his countrymen in this one.
Yeah, there you go.
Finally, an Irish monopoly up front.
When you think about that, Turnbull, O'Toole, Deaver, a lot of these guys, they played together for the Irish U20s team. They know each other. They played with and against each other. It's a big advantage on the front row.
Houston again flirting with the red zone. Windsor subtle but effective. Esdale inside the 22.
Forward. Forward. Tim, captain. So I think we've got a number 4 penalty at the scrum now for you guys collapsing. So they've got to keep it up. I can't let them collapse and collapse and collapse. I know it's not really your area. Boys, we must keep the scrum up and you must step back and take the pressure. Yeah. Here we are.
And talking about keeping the scrum up there. Again, safety, primary concern in that
Same
one.
Standard,
not
boys.
collapsing
Alignment.
the scrum.
Must be balanced and stable.
We often see teams get a second bite at the apple if the scrum collapses. That may not be the case the rest of tonight after both sides have now been acknowledged by Scott Green.
Crouch. Bind.
Johnny Ika.
Set.
Also a talented fullback. Your scrum half tonight.
No.
Murphy almost finding himself a gift through the power of that SaberCats scrum.
Yeah, straight up. Forward, then up. 17 black, straight across.
Turnbull committing the infraction, the new addition to that front line for the SaberCats.
Well, O'Malley telegraphing his intentions. And a set piece coming up.
Utah would like to move things quicker, get this one secured via the line out, get it out wide to the speed.
There we are. That's for you. That's for you.
Battle up top, won by Matt Jensen, the former national champion with BYU. Of course, Eagle as well on his resume. Colin. Oh, what a timely toss. Lance Williams to the edge of the 22.
Great offload there from Cullen to Williams.
Connor Murphy helps create the turnover for the SaberCats.
It's there for you. Stay.
Just no support line coming.
Thank you.
Utah looked like they had something going. They couldn't exploit it.
Little dummy. from Mr. Windsor. Back to Jake Turnbull in the match now as a prop, the Australian.
Play it, play it.
And Utah, perhaps a little too much banter right now. Can they stay focused? It's just a three-point match.
And a little box kick there, but not getting the chase. Haven't seen that chase from Houston as much.
Pass back.
Potty, no trouble taking it.
That's a rock, hands away. Wait here, boys.
McClellan already a try tonight. Happy with 2 meters there. Oh, just a solid black and gold wall. Trying to find a crack. Vainicolo frees it up.
Pass back. That's a rock. We're good now. You step back.
Houston doing a good job staying on side in that situation.
Scott Green making sure to clearly acknowledge the ruck, giving the defense
back,
a chance
boys.
to make sure they were clean. Out wide is their space. Vainicolo with the Jets. Certainly know what he's capable of. Tonga's leading try scorer.
Oh, what an offload. I'm going to say that was a forward pass, I believe, but Potty going down, able to find Williams.
Ball's going forward there.
And indeed, ball forward. This is, said it before, but Potty.
Yep, time's off.
Just that one, just a hair forward. I think it was actually the ball from Williams to Cullen.
Yeah, not by much. Remember, as long as you're releasing in a backwards direction, the law of physics is still going to prevail. That ball will still technically wind up in a forward position.
We have our water break now, boys.
Well, we are approaching the final 20 minutes of play. SaberCats at the moment nursing a three-point lead.
Pull them out. Yeah, you're fine. There you go. Go ahead, mate.
Brother on three. 1, 2, 3.
On the board. Think about all the things you sacrificed. Think of how far you've come. What we're going to do today to kickstart this brand new league off.
Join us Saturday, April 13th in our first game at the brand new Aviva Stadium. It's ladies' night and all ladies receive a 20% discount on tickets purchased at the box office.
Hello, my name is Christopher Senarose. I'm the master instructor of United Taekwondo here in Katy, Texas. We teach Taekwondo to children and adults of all ages. We also have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Friday nights at 6:30. We look forward to meeting you and your family soon.
Yeah.
Back at Constellation Field, Lincoln Rose, Kit McConico, 23-20 right now. The SaberCats looking to win their final meeting here on the southwest side of Houston.
If the ball pops out, we're going to play on.
They've had plenty of reason to celebrate throughout the day. Ideal start, have not trailed. But those Warriors not going away.
No, not by a long shot. Utah has done a fantastic job. It's been back and forth here in the second half. O'Malley able to tie it with a penalty goal. Then Windsor, one of his own. Utah finds themselves trailing by 3, and it appears to be another change as Alex Tucci will come on, giving way, or taking over for Angus McClellan, I should say, is the loose head.
Well, the Floridian Tucci is back to the same state where he played college football, but I'm not going to pretend we are anywhere close to Canyon, Texas.
And the former West Texas A&M man up in the Panhandle. It's probably a 7 or 8 hour drive from Houston.
Outside of Amarillo, Crouch, Canyon, Texas. Seen a lot of good rugby players come out of there. Arkansas State and our neighbor.
Set. 2, 3.
Feed coming up from Murphy.
That's fine. We're good there, John. We're good there.
Houston
We have advantage.
Looking for a vulnerability right in the middle as they give it back to Pangelina.
Wait. Yep, you're good. Thanks.
So many good things can happen when you have a talented boot to put that ball in the air.
Backwards.
In the final miscue,
No
great
advantage,
job
back
from
to the
Windsor.
scrum.
Tried to play it onto himself. Ended up with Mills, the native Houstonian.
Red
You
wheeling
see it
out.
right here. Windsor just so creative.
This side.
Batted back right into the hands of Connor Mills.
Yeah, okay,
Mills.
sorry. Thanks, James. Sorry, mate. Yep.
Final pass just finding itself out into touch.
Wheeling.
And we never heard the initial whistle, but Houston was playing the
You're right, Patty,
advantage,
you're right.
a wheeling of the scrum against Utah. You can get that wheeling call almost any time if you're Houston.
And Windsor wisely sends this out into touch for the line out. If you're Houston in this situation, you've got to be looking for the try. You know Windsor is almost automatic with the penalty goal. Got 5 points. You can tack 2 on with the conversion.
Yeah, at least there. That's
It'd be
good.
massive to put you back up by 10.
Butch Neuenschwander showing off the well-manicured fingertips.
Advantage, 8 in the side.
Stealing some camera time. Houston trying to re-extend that advantage to 2 scores.
Advantage. Obstruction there. We have obstruction. 8's coming the side. No advantage.
You hear the obstruction call.
Excuse me, side. Don't speak
No
to me like that.
blocking allowed. No screening allowed here in rugby.
Sergeant John Wayne Cullen, the vice
clearly in front.
captain, former
Sideway 8.
Utah defensive end coming in the
Back to you,
side.
boys. Let's go back to him for a minute.
We call him Sergeant John Cullen because, well, that's what the National Guard calls him, a
clearly
paratrooper
coming the
for the
side. Have a look
Utah
up there.
National Guard, even has suited up for the All-Army 7s.
Former Seattle Saracens, Park City Haggis man, La Mirada, California native.
Fair call, fair call.
As Windsor calls for the tee. Looking to extend the SaberCats lead to 6. He's been perfect tonight with the ball off the boot.
The moment Sam got off the team bus today in the parking lot, he was within his range. How will this angle favor him? This would still just be a 1-score advantage, even if he were to split the sticks for a 4th time on a penalty goal.
Looks good to me, boys.
Did I phrase that as a question? My apologies.
Like death and taxes.
11 red.
Sam Windsor. 6 for 6 tonight, splitting the
11.
sticks, including 4 penalty goals.
Windsor automatic from just about anywhere on this pitch. Had the opportunity to watch him warm up 2 hours previous, and just a thing of beauty.
The 11's off now. He's coming off. I'll just hold this.
But Utah, mindful of the score, down by 6, nothing, a try and a conversion can't take care of as they still seek their first lead tonight here on the road.
And their captain, Tim O'Malley, he's certainly shown his ability to split the wickets as well. 6 points, certainly not enough with as much time as there is remaining in this one.
Back. Hey, John.
Neither team has secured the try bonus.
They won't die though, right?
There may be a loss bonus at least for one of these 2 teams. If we don't find ourselves in yet another draw here in Major League Rugby.
Moore able to charge that one down. Utah comes away with it.
Yeah, boys.
Tackle from Comtat.
Advantage over.
As he gets to suit up tonight.
And Victor Comtat, the Frenchman, making his 2019 MLR debut. Former Austin Elite man.
Where's that mark on the line? The line's in, so yes, we're in. Just hold the ball. We've got to
See a charge down there. Great work. Moore able to get just the fingertips to it.
And Gannon Moore made his Eagle debut this past November. Got a cap against Manu Samoa.
Eagles with that 30-29 victory.
Your time's off. You might as well just
back
come
on
in
the
and sit
10th
up.
of November.
It is when he dipped outside the United States, met his fiancée over in New Zealand. And every now and then you may interact with him and not know it playing World of Warcraft online.
No, we're fine. We're good.
I'm sure he's done his fair share of trash talking with 12-year-olds. Not tonight. Grown men on either side. Houston with a 6-point advantage here at home. Have yet to trail tonight.
6. You're fine. You're fine. So we had 8 coming inside them all down there, clearly.
Yeah.
Here, 6 is deliberately trying to collapse them all here. Okay. So with the scrum penalties and the maul penalties, it's just going up too much. So have a quick chat. Yeah. We want your discipline to come up, okay? I can't be penalising anymore, okay? Talk to your forwards, discipline.
And multiple penalties there, scrum and maul penalties on the side of the Warriors. And you heard Scott Green. Can't be continuing to call penalties at this rate against Utah.
Yep. Okay, time's on. Collapsing, 6.
Well, Utah essentially trailing right now because of those penalties. Sam Windsor's been able to take advantage. 26-20 at the moment as they matriculate down the pitch to midfield. Let's check in with Austin.
Houston.
The Houston scrum has been dominant all night long, and that's something the SaberCats pride themselves on. However, they haven't been able to convert that into points this half until that last possession. There's players on the Houston sideline communicating with each other to be fluid with the ball movement and patient, and that's exactly what they did. They got into the red zone, and they allowed a penalty goal. They said it doesn't matter how many points we get on the board. They said every possession we just want to put a few points on the board to extend our lead.
Austin, thank you.
Advantage.
Utah now playing an advantage. It's going to take
for the knock.
Multiple men to bring down Alex Tucci, the former Wanderer.
No advantage.
And after combined 37 points scored in the first half, no tries here in the second, just the penalty goal from O'Malley and then the 2 from Windsor. Defense is really settling in.
The front row's on a warning for stepping out of the competition. You must stay in and not wheel out. You cannot wheel out.
Once he starts subbing in for those props, Scott Green is extra mindful of making sure things are done cleanly up front. A little less experience more often than not.
And telling that front row, that new front row of the Warriors, no wheeling out.
Okay.
Easier said than done at times.
Especially against this scrum of Houston.
You ready to go? Let's set up again. We want our alignment on the far side, boys.
Locks. Together.
Crouch.
Utah really needs to get clean ball out quickly.
Bind. 6.
That ball quickly digested through the scrum.
Able to do so. Nicely done from Utah.
Long strides ahead. Progress from Anderson. He of the 80-meter dash against Rooney.
And Josh Anderson, those huge strides at 6'5", the big wing, the Salt Lake City native. Haven't called his name much tonight.
Couple dummies and finally Tapati.
Yeah.
After not trailing all night, inside the final 15 minutes or so here in the second half, Houston close to having their backs against the wall.
Utah doing a good job in this situation. Now giving Houston time to get reset.
Use the ball.
Murphy told to use it.
Oh, no, stay right
Windsor, the Olay.
No, wait.
He sends it out into touch.
Windsor might have another career as a bullfighter.
He avoided that red shirt impressively. And you're hearing both benches really trying to rally the troops for the final 10 minutes. Still all to play for, just a 6-point game.
Franco, yeah.
Well, that last penalty goal from Windsor was significant.
Yeah, here's your mark.
It means Utah's not stealing points from you. If they split the sticks, the pressure here on a try and perhaps a game-winning try at that. How will tonight unfold?
Oh, great work there from Houston, stringing it out, getting the line out wide, not any space for Utah to exploit.
Kaka.
Off your feet. Good work, 12, good work.
Just setting up the phases.
Wait, just wait, boys.
Utah looking for a rhythm, and then they hope some daylight.
Nowhere for Jensen to go. Well defended by Houston. Esdale there to drag down Comtat from behind.
5 nights ago, SaberCats at this point just playing for some pride tonight. Playing for 4 full points. Looking for that second victory of the young campaign.
Looking for their first win here at home, the final game at Constellation Field. What a way this would be to wrap things up for the SaberCat fans.
And yet it's the Warriors who could be eyeing their own second victory of the season. Warriors right now just 14 men on their feet, but continuing to find progress.
Comtat being attended to by the training staff.
You see him clear out of the way, and he's going to try to give it a go, favoring that left shoulder.
Nothing there.
Simple.
Fantastic defending right now from Houston, doing a very good job keeping the line there defensively, and they come with it.
Kevin.
A miscue there. Lance Williams will not have the opportunity, the former Hawaii linebacker, to capture that first lead of the night.
Williams, an absolute beast on the field, and the gentleman off at the special needs preschool teacher thought he was in for what would have been the try, and the conversion, had it been slotted through, would have given Utah the lead. Take another look. Comtat drugged down from behind by Esdale.
And that's where he gets banged up. A couple minutes later, knock on. And now with SaberCats have Pat O'Toole, who's played the full 70-plus minutes tonight. And this appears to be a contact lens issue.
O'Toole had that second try, put Houston up 15-0 in the 15th minute.
We talk about Sam Windsor, but obviously it's the big men up front who often give him those opportunities off the tee.
And I'll give you all the reward. Okay, if you turn across, it's just
Pat O'Toole, a big part of that this year.
You're going onto their hooker. That's what I'm saying. You're going in and then across. Okay.
Bears reiterating what a match this has been. Both teams know what's at stake. Trying to get this win to really propel them on a run for the second half of the season. Neither where they want to be in the standings. That can all change with a win tonight.
Alex, you going to continue on, mate? Can you make it on, or what's going on, bud? We've got to kick the game off.
A few men taking advantage, getting some servings of water. They'll be begging for it come this summer when that humidity in the Houston area has kicked in.
Yeah, huge home field advantage for the Texas teams as well as New Orleans.
It's actually back in field here, boys.
Come the summer months.
The original knock on is back in field here. First one, white black. No advantage. Get out here, guys.
You see the indication again, the knock on that led to the stoppage of play a moment ago. And that's the question right there is, can Tucci hold up?
Okay, 9 is coming.
There's your prop.
Crouch.
And the reconfigured front line of Vandenberg, Tucci, and Comtat.
Steady. Okay, just a little bit too much movement. Yeah.
Again, you see that reinvented front
These
line.
guys pre-engaged a little bit on this side. Yeah, okay, I'll come over.
Gouda, Turnbull, and Comtat up front.
Just hold the space. It's been really good. Just hold your space.
Or pardon me, Jamie Deaver, a starter back on Saturday.
Here. Yeah, okay. Yeah. 7.5. I've got 7.5, boys. Crouch.
4 points awarded to the winner. If we were to have a draw, they would split them 2 apiece. Neither team at the moment with the try bonus requiring 4 tries or more. Certainly a lost bonus, not out of the question. But that win is still within reach for both sides. I believe Mr. Windsor with the drop goal effort there.
Yeah, it's rare you see that. The drop goal it stems from Sam Windsor. Indeed, that's what it appeared that
would have made it 2 scores.
Number 3 wheeling out.
Houston's fly half was going for in that situation. He will have the tee to aid him this time when he puts boot to ball.
When you're playing an advantage, you might as well.
When you've got a player like Sam Windsor, why not? See how difficult a technique that is to take the drop goal.
I believe that.
We'll have Doug Flutie show him how it's done.
And this more to Windsor's liking, a chance to extend the home team's lead to 9.
They are still working with Mr. Tucci. Grew up both in New York and Florida. Would go on to play football for Colorado State before transferring to Division II, West Texas A&M. Looking to make it a 2-score lead. Of course, the flags are up. Sam Windsor strikes again. The lead is 9 for Houston.
Windsor remains perfect. And his kicks tonight, all points in the second half for Houston have come from number 10 in black. Sam Windsor.
5 for 5 on penalty goals tonight. Sam Windsor, the only man who's been better this year. Sam Windsor.
Yeah, time's on.
7 for 7 in the lone win against Austin.
One of the Major League Rugby round 1 man of the week, and rightfully so for that performance.
Limited schedule this week in MLR. 1 match Saturday, 1 on Sunday. Here's your answer, being down by 9. Effective dummy early on.
What a job from Potty.
Found O'Malley. And talk about a quick turnaround. McClellan's already tasted success once tonight. Roll out. He was able to re-enter, I believe, for the injured Tucci.
No rep. 16 black.
But how big was that kick a moment ago for Windsor? It's a 2-score deficit.
What a turn there from Utah, quickly on the front foot.
James Seeple, the man down on the pitch still.
Hold on here. It's here.
Your fly half for the Warriors.
Open up, Black. Ball's out.
So you would think fighting for that try is no brainer, but at what point does Utah even contemplate a kick if they have such an opportunity just to make sure they're in contention for a point? Too early to give up on that try just yet.
Warriors continuing to just punch ahead. Making tough meters at the game line, just shy of the try line.
Leave the ball, no hands here.
Can he don it down? Oh, what a look. The Warriors are still in it. Tack on another 5.
It was.
Fantastic work, patient. The Warriors rewarded that time. Lance Williams, the flanker.
Sliding over tonight for Ara Elkington.
Williams doing a great job. They could not hold him up. Did so initially, but had the wherewithal to dot that one down in front of Gouda.
Oh, what an effort from Williams.
Former Rainbow Warrior linebacker. A special individual. Mentioned just an absolute beast on the field and one of the nicest men you'll meet off it. And he has made this a game in the final few minutes.
The conversion a moment ago.
Yes. Yep.
Back within a score.
Stadium is correct. The clock.
Lance Williams, so easy to root for. A special needs preschool teacher when he's not putting 5 points on the board.
They said he just loves working with children, helping children.
Again, here's the dynamic. You score, you get the ball back.
What a finish we're in store for in this one. Back to a 2-point game.
Sergeant John Cullen not to be kept down. They will play until Scott Green tells them otherwise. That whistle can't come soon enough for the SaberCats.
Utah knows it will not come while the ball is still in play. They want to continue going through the phases. Cognizant to keep possession.
The third try of the match for Utah has them back within 2.
Houston has to be very careful not to commit any penalty here. No infractions.
Okay, let it come now. Ball's available.
It's the lone try we have seen here in the second half. The Windsor penalty goals have added up to keep Houston ahead by a pair.
Houston, great defending here.
Roll out. Yeah. No.
Angus McClellan may be auditioning to be a wing.
Already has a try, why not?
You're reminded how costly a single mistake could be defensively.
And that's not Alauti just unable to break through.
Give it off the keeper play. Houston draws it in touch.
Blow the whistle.
And with that, the SaberCats secure the 4 points tonight in their farewell match in Sugar Land.
What a match. Houston got up early, 17-0. Utah stormed back. It was a 3-point game at half. The lone try of the second half in favor of the Warriors. Lance Williams able to dot it down, but Sam Windsor, the rook, just too much off the boot, gives the home team just their second victory of the season and their first at home in their final game here at Constellation Field.
SaberCats hang on for the victory, their second of the MLR campaign.
Aviva, proudly sponsoring Houston SaberCats Rugby. With over 16,000 customers and 4,400 employees across the globe, we have delivered unrivaled excellence for more than 50 years. In an environment that's increasing in complexity, the one constant is the need for change. Change driven by new demands, by the desire to do things better, by sustaining what you've created. We enable customers to master change, pushing boundaries in a digital world where everything is possible.
We know athletes because we are athletes. At the Sports Medicine Clinic at the Baylor College of Medicine, we provide top-level care to athletes of all levels in Houston and around the country. As the official healthcare provider of the Houston SaberCats, our doctors and sports medicine healthcare professionals are dedicated to safely enhancing our athletes' performance while promoting recovery and injury prevention. Getting you back on the field, in the game, and ready to roar.
Season 2 of Major League Rugby is up and running. 9 teams from across the U.S. and Canada battle it out every week for the right to hoist the MLR Shield.
One for the line. Look at this guy going over.
The crowd has gone wild. The intensity, the drama, the buzz. You've got to love it. This is Rugby America. Get involved. Get behind it. It's here to stay.
Well, there is certainly an opportunity tonight afforded to two teams who had a sour taste in their mouth. The SaberCats seized this Thursday night. They pick up the win. Our man of the match is with Austin.
I am with Sam, who was perfect on the night, 5 for 5 for penalty kicks and 2 for 2 for conversions. How were you able to stay so consistent?
I guess it's an old cliche, but you trust your process, you trust your routine. Get some work in during the week, and I'll tell you what, the kicks are much easier to make when you're being in front, you're not chasing a lead. So, listen, our forward pack, the guys that came off the bench, the starting 8, they put in a hell of a shift up front in the scrum time, and that just laid the platform for us. Field position, we're able to take the points, keep that scoreboard ticking over, and fortunately stay in front for the majority of the game.
What was your offense able to take advantage of to push you down deep into the red zone?
I think we managed to hold on to the ball a little better this week than we have in the previous sort of month, 6 weeks. We've done a lot of work. We've been so close on so many occasions in the last few games, even though the scores are blown out a little bit. We've been working tirelessly to try and get in front and get our systems put together. So today it wasn't pretty. We wanted to throw the ball around a little bit more and score some tries, but listen, we'll take the 4 points. We'll take the second win of the season. We go into the break with a smile on our face, and we're coming home with a 9-game stretch. So we've got a lot of work to do. It's lovely to see people writing us off and being the underdogs every week, but hopefully we'll turn that around over the next month, and people start to take notice that we've got a serious, talented bunch of boys, and we're not here just to make up the numbers. We're going to push for the top 4 and playoff spot.
Your last time playing here at Constellation Field, how sweet is it that you get to go out with a win?
Actually, it's really emotional. As soon as that whistle went, I was kind of struck in the middle of the field, and the Skeeters organisation have been awesome to us. They've vacated the ground. The ground's going to work tirelessly to put this lovely field together. We're going to miss it. We've had some great memories here. We started with a win and we're finishing it with a win. So a fitting finish, but Aviva Stadium's almost done, and we're looking forward to welcoming Seattle there in a couple of weeks.
Perfect way to start it, end it with a win. Congratulations. Go celebrate with your team.
Thank you very much.
Austin, thank you. No doubt they'll take those uprights for Mr. Windsor, put them on the back of a truck, and take them into Houston over to Aviva Stadium. Here are your updated standings. Again, 2 more matches coming up in Major League Rugby here in Week 9 this weekend. But the SaberCats climb on the table, their second win. Last year they were saddled just that one victory against Austin. They had to have doubt in their mind, but Kit, tonight they prevailed against the Warriors.
They did indeed. Massive win for Houston. The good news for Utah, still a game in hand. Very close tonight. What a match and a fitting finish. Houston with the victory.
As Sam Windsor mentioned, they'll be able to savor it for a week off. Then on the road to Glendale. The Warriors, meanwhile, would love to see their fans back in attendance. Back-to-back home games coming up against Toronto and Seattle to wrap up the first half of the campaign. Well, for Austin Ivan, Kit McConico, I'm Lincoln Rose. Big thank you to our entire crew tonight. Another memorable evening on a Thursday night in Major League Rugby.
Brother on 3. 1, 2, 3.
On the board. Think about all the things you sacrificed. Think of how far you've come. What we're going to do today to kickstart this brand new league off.
Join us Saturday, April 13th in our first game at the brand new Aviva Stadium. It's ladies' night and all ladies receive a 20% discount on tickets purchased at the box office.
Welcome Dynamo fans to Cube 57. Patty Smith, John Granato, and Paul Gallant.
We're really excited to be broadcasting 30 Houston Dynamo games this season. We were the Dynamo home last year. We're proud to be it again, and we hope that you'll be along with us, whether they're here at BBVA Compass Stadium or on the road all season long.
That's right, Channel 57 or 653 on Xfinity. Come join us.
Once upon a time, there was a time when time stood still and you could pause the hustle and bustle to unwind with good music and a cold, refreshing beer. Well, friend, that time can now be any time thanks to Love Street Kolsch Style Blonde. It's a crisp, easy drinking, go-with-the-flow beer brewed with floral German hops. Hello. Well, hi there. When all you need is to kick back and give the soul some free time, all you need is Love Street. Brewed with love in Houston, Texas by the Karbach Brewing Company.
Aviva, proudly sponsoring Houston SaberCats Rugby. With over 16,000 customers and 4,400 employees across the globe, we have delivered unrivaled excellence for more than 50 years. In an environment that's increasing in complexity, the one constant is the need for change. Change driven by new demands, by the desire to do things better, and by sustaining what you've created. We enable customers to master change, pushing boundaries in a digital world where everything is possible.